The first time she saw snow, she thought the world was falling apart. To her, flakes of white drifting from the sky looked like the ashes of dying stars. They clung to her silver skin and melted into chilled droplets, reminding her that she was not meant to survive a place like this. Crystalla had crossed galaxies, fled a war that consumed her entire species, and crashed into this frozen patch of Earth, an isolated research outpost nestled in the Arctic ice. Cold. So intensely cold. Her kind thrived in heat, lava caves, sunlit oceans, nebula warmth. But here, her bones vibrated with shivers she didn't understand. Her breathing came shallow. She clutched her arms around her body, instinctively trying to protect the glowing violet core at her chest, the last ember of home. She did not know how long she wandered, leaving a faint trail of bioluminescent footprints across the tundra. The only sound was the howl of the wind, an ancient beast roaring endlessly. She scanned for shelter, for heat, for a sign that this planet was not entirely dead. Then, cutting through the storm, light, rectangular, warm, and impossibly inviting. Door. She stumbled toward it, ready to collapse. With her last ounce of strength, she pressed a hand against its metal frame. Her fingers flickered with faint luminescence, and the door opened. Dr. Elias Ward expected the storm. He expected a quiet night with only radio chatter from satellites and the hum of generators. He even expected boredom, an emotion he had grown far too familiar with since being stationed at Polaris Outpost. What he did not expect was an alien freezing outside his door. Her wide silver eyes reflected his startled face. Her skin glowed faintly like moonlight captured in liquid. She trembled as if she were moments from death. "What the?" Elias gasped, rushing forward instinctively. When he touched her arm, her skin burned hot beneath the ice forming along it, like touching metal left too close to a star. She crumpled into his arms, unconscious. And then the real storm began. Elias laid her on the only cot he had spare. Her body emitted a subtle heat signature but was clearly failing. He scrambled for thermal blankets, medical scanners, anything that could help. "What are you?" he whispered, though he didn't expect an answer. Under her chest, glowing, pulsing. He reached out, hesitated, and then gently brushed away snow. A crystal-like organ was embedded there, softly radiating light like a dying ember. He grabbed a heating pad and layered it over the glowing core, watching as her body relaxed slightly. Her breathing steadied. A soft hum resonated through the room. After several agonizing minutes, her eyes fluttered open. She stared at him, terrified, confused, yet hopeful. "You opened the door," she murmured. Her voice was airy, accented with a harmonic echo. Elias swallowed hard. "You needed help. That's what humans do." She blinked, trying to interpret his words. "Human." She tested the sound, almost tasting it. "My designation is Crystalla of Nova Aeon." "Well, nice to meet you, Crystalla," Elias replied, awkwardly raising a hand as if greeting a neighbor rather than a cosmic refugee. Her gaze drifted to the heating pad. "Warmth is kindness. You have saved me." Elias offered a tiny smile. "Let's call it a start." Over the next several days, the storm outside worsened, sealing them inside the outpost. Satellites went down. Communications cut off. Humanity forgotten them for the moment. But Elias didn't feel alone. Crystalla learned quickly about human words, human objects, especially blankets which she adored, and human foods though she didn't need them. Instead, she drew energy from radiant heat sources, particularly the outpost's reactor. When she stood near the furnace, her skin shimmered in swirling hues of purple and blue, an aurora in human shape. She revealed pieces of her story in fragments. Her planet had been destroyed. Her species hunted by a ruthless, consuming force known as the Null Imperium. She was one of the last. Elias listened each night, heart tightening with helpless sympathy. He wanted to protect her, even though he was one man against a threat spanning galaxies. One evening, Crystalla touched the frost on a window and spoke softly. I believed the universe had abandoned me. My people say a star's warmth is life. I found mine when you opened the door. Elias looked at her, truly looked, and felt something shift inside him. Oh, connection. Maybe even something more. He wasn't sure which scared him more. But peace never lasts. On the 5th night, the outpost alarms blared, trembling sirens that shook frost from rafters. Elias sprinted to the control panel. What is it? Crystalla asked, stepping toward him. Radar has a contact, Elias muttered. Something descending fast. Crystalla's face fell with dread. They have found me. The sky outside lit up with unnatural light. A ship breaching atmosphere. Metallic wings like jagged blades. Energy patterns that defied physics. Elias stared with horror. They're not here for Earth, Crystalla warned, grabbing his arm. They are here to erase me. To finish what they began. Elias drew a shaky breath. Then we run. We hide. No, her voice steadied, but sorrow glazed her features. You opened the door. You saved me. I cannot let them take your world next. She pressed her crystal core, and a surge of radiant heat pulsed outward. The air hummed. The lights flickered as energy gathered around her like armor. You don't have to do this alone, Elias insisted. Crystalla offered him a soft, sad smile. Humans are remarkable. But this battle is not yours. Outside, the ship landed with a quake. Figures emerged, void black, faceless, moving like living shadows. Crystalla stepped into the freezing air, warmth radiating like a newborn sun. She turned to Elias one last time. Thank you for opening the door. And then she screamed, a sound like a star igniting. Light erupted. When the explosion faded, the dark soldiers were ash on the snow. The ship lay twisted and molten. The storm clouds had burned away, revealing a night sky pierced with stars. Crystalla knelt in the crater, her glow flickering, dying. Elias ran to her, catching her as she fell into his arms. You did it, he whispered, voice breaking. Her eyes dimmed to soft silver. Humans deserve to survive. To hope, to care. You showed me that. Stay with me, Elias pleaded, gripping her hand. She weakly brushed her fingers against his cheek, warmth fading. Do not be cold. Do not be alone. Live for both of us. Her crystal core flickered once, and went dark. Crystalla's body fell still, peaceful as moonlight on quiet snow. Months later, rescue crews finally arrived. They found Elias alive, but changed. He stayed at the outpost, now studying the remnants of the alien tech Crystalla left behind. In the center of his desk sat a small shard of her crystal, a tiny light that sometimes flickered when he held it close. Whenever the cold Arctic nights became unbearable, he would close his eyes and remember the warmth of a girl who crossed the stars seeking safety, and found it, if only for a moment, because a human opened the door.